How's it going, you guys? Welcome back to another edition of the podcast. This is Dad's Podcast Project. And today I wanted to talk about social media and keeping my children's identity, or really just keeping my children off of my social media feeds. Now, this isn't to take shots at anybody. As parents, y'all are going to do you. I'm not here to judge. I'm just providing a little bit of perspective as to my approach when it comes to posting images of my kids. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So a question that I sometimes get is, why don't I post pictures of my children on my social media? And I would be remiss to say that I never do, because I have posted pictures of my children in the past. I've posted videos, and whether it's on my Instagram stories or on my Facebook feed, even on my Instagram feed. Now, on my Facebook, I'm a little bit more lax when it comes to posting images. However, on my Instagram, because it's public and because it's more of a follower-based sort of setup, I am more cautious when it comes to what I'm putting out there. I don't necessarily want to put 100% of my personal life out on display in a public forum. And the other reason that I decide that I don't want to put my children's images out there, I guess to take it back even further, is that I am a child of the sort of birth and development of social media. So I saw from the beginning inceptions of, just chat rooms evolving to online video games, to then MySpace, Facebook, Instagram. All of these things I've been able to witness come to fruition firsthand from the beginning. So as they evolve and the communities evolve, it's interesting to see, but I'm not quite sure what the, potential for repercussion may be. And I say that because being able to consciously make the decision to put my own content, my own self out there on social media was just that. It was my own conscious decision. However, as parents, we want to share everything about our children. We want to share all the first steps, first words, all of these things. And inherently, we want to take pictures and just throw these out there. And so, beginning parents, they would post quite a lot of content of their kids, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram. Those are the two major. So right away, your child doesn't have the ability to decide if they want themselves out there. You're pretty much making the decision to create a social presence for your children right out the gate. And whether you do that or you don't, that's totally up to you. But for myself, I don't want to take that decision and just do something with it, like creating an online presence for my children, kind of before they even know what an online presence is, before they even have an idea or can even make the conscious decision that, yes, I want to be out there, or no, I want to keep myself private until I make that decision for myself. And this can cross like a lot of really gray areas, because there are families who post their children in family vlogs on YouTube. There are families who plaster or just display image after image of just their children on their social media. And kudos to them if that's what they want to do. But I'm more curious as to, what is the effect of this going to be when these children, my children in general, grow up? and become or reach the age where I was when I was first stepping into MySpace, for example, and creating a profile and figuring out how to navigate the social media space. Because essentially, we create this file of ourselves where strangers know us even though they don't know us. For example, we put where we work, where we hang out, who our friends are, our family, all of these interconnected things to create this online persona. It isn't 100% factually who you are to people who know you personally, but it can be close enough for a stranger, an outsider. And an awkward exchange is in a conversation that I was having how we kind of know each other's children, even though we don't know them. And from a child's perspective, we are 100% complete and utter total strangers if it's the first time we're meeting. Even though, oh, I saw your first birthday, I saw your first steps, I heard your first words. It's kind of an awkward thing to have this dossier created on who your children are. And it speaks to the levels of wanting to protect our children. But at the same time, it's a gray area because we also want to share those things with our friends and our family. Now, I don't have any real issues with friends and family, seeing pictures of my kids, seeing all the greats and the firsts and things like that. I just personally don't feel that social media is the forum for that to be shared. It can be shared in a text, an email. Just come over to the house. Come and visit. Come and see them for yourself. Putting it out there on Instagram, putting it out there on Facebook. On Facebook, I'm a little bit more lax, but on Instagram, my profile is just 100% public. I don't know who's looking at my page. I don't know. I have no control over that unless I were to convert it to a private profile. But at that point, it's like, why? Why would I have one just to be private? I don't see if it was going to be private profile for myself, I just wouldn't have one. And if I really wanted to share this content with friends and family, or friends and family really wanted to see these things, I can send them a text. I can text them a picture. I can email them. So that's my own personal opinion. That's why I try to keep my children off of my social media. And when they are on there, one of the things that was also called out is why do you put an emoji over their face, or why do you blur out their image? Excuse me. And it just speaks to everything that I said before. I want to protect them and their social media presence. If they, at a later age, decide that they want to be on social media, that they want to put themselves out there, whatever that social media forum may be, may no longer be Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. It may be something completely different. At that time, I hope to be able to educate them on how to navigate this space. I don't want to have embarrassing videos of them or awkward pictures or pictures that I might think are, really cute photos, but when they get older, it might be photos that they're embarrassed of. I just don't want to create this dossier, as I mentioned before, for people to look at and to know my kids before they really know them. So whatever that speaks to when they go to school or when they get into high school, or how it may affect some of these kids when they get into college, to me is to be determined, because it's still in its infancy. I think that a lot of these kids who are put out there on social media are really coming into their own now. And children of this generation, of my children's generation, it may be just the social norm. Just you have an online presence. You've always been on the internet, even before you decided to be on. So it might even completely dismiss all of the feelings that I'm having about this topic, all of the things that I might be just apprehensive about because of just my own experience with social media growing up. It's just, you never knew who you were talking to in chat rooms. 100%. You never really knew unless you knew that person in real life. When playing games online, everybody had that first notion that if you were playing a game with like a female character, chances were that person playing that female character was not a female in real life. And so there's just like learning to navigate the internet and learning to navigate social media and how to conduct yourself is something that I hope that my kids, when they are grown enough to make that decision for themselves, can learn from either myself or from just other things in general. And that's sort of going off on a completely different tangent, but getting back onto things, I want to protect them as best that I can. And I feel that keeping them off of social media until they can make that decision for themselves, that to me is what I think is the best course of action. Is it the only one? No. Should you do this? You got to do what's best for you. You got to do what's best for your children. If you feel that there's not an issue with it, then there's not an issue with it. You don't have to listen to me. You don't have to. I'm not trying to tell you how to parent. I'm not trying to tell you this is what you should or should not do. Again, with this podcast, just providing my own experience, my own thoughts. If you feel the same way, you're not alone. And if you feel differently, kudos to you. There are plenty of people. I have plenty of friends who post images of their families, of their children, and all of that. And they don't see a problem. I don't see a problem. But when it comes to my house, my children, my family, I have a different approach. So with that being said, I want to thank you guys for taking the time to listen to these podcasts. As the shift is occurring, sort of a news, kind of like podcast news stuff, episodes will be available every Monday. You can see me on YouTube if you want to watch the videos. You can listen to me on Stitcher, iTunes, not SoundCloud, Spotify, or not. I don't think I'm on Spotify yet. I'm working on that. But I've been working on getting the distribution of this podcast out to reach as many areas and places that people listen to podcasts as possible. So again, thank you guys for your continued support. And as always, till next time, see ya.